friends. Happy Sunday. The live did it again. Every time I try to schedule one, it just automatically goes live. I'm going to have to obviously figure out what I'm doing wrong. Um, how frustrating. All right. I know I'm starting early, but I want to work on this horse. So here I am. Looks like I have a couple of people. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. I got a lot done yesterday. I'm just trying to bring up my laptop and um, get things going. Hi, Donna. Hi, Polly. Thanks for being here. Hope you hope you're doing well today. It's another overcast, cloudy, a little chilly. It's in the 50s, 51. So it's kind of chilly out there. I was over on Greenland Quilter with Katie yesterday after I went live, and I got a lot more done on this. They were working on Legos, which I never played with Legos. I might have a little bit with my nieces and nephews. Just help them put them together, stuff like that. But I personally never had personal Legos. I had no idea, honestly, that it was such a big deal. And they make all different sizes and just some amazing stuff. And seeing the little teeny mini ones, it actually kind of made me think, now that one I might do, the little teeny ones, micro Legos. But like I need another, you know, craft, like I need another hole in my head, right? So I know I think there's going to be an Ian's probably still live right now, and I think Sherry goes live pretty soon, and then Katie's going live. There's just so many lives going on today. It's crazy. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go live, and whoever wants to, come see what I'm doing, great. If you want to flip back and forth, that's okay. Just come and go and, say hi. That's all. That's all you got to do. So, sounds like your weather today. Hi, Melanie. Hello, Susan and Moxie. Hello, Sylvia. Yeah, I think it's the lighting. Lighting has changed a little bit, so you can definitely see the different colors a lot better. I think it looks really pretty. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. So, yeah, the purples and the dark blues, exactly. How did I choose the colors for the horse? Well, I guess I kind of had a general idea of kind of the colors I wanted to use. I knew I wanted some purples in there and dark blues and I just picked, I just went through my boutiques and picked out pretty fabrics that I liked, that I thought would look good on a horse. So I really can't explain really how I did it, but other than I just went through the boutiques and I'm like, ooh, this is pretty. I really like this one. I really like this one. I'm like, do they kind of match up? And then when I found, 4 or 5 main focus fabrics, then I tried matching different fabrics to it. And I went, and I know I've told you guys this before, it, this pattern comes with a shading page. Okay, so these are the values that you're looking for. So I tried to find, at least 6 different colors in this shade, this value. Same thing with this one, 6 different fabrics for this one, and so forth. And some of them I got quite a bit more than 6, just because when looking at the fabric, I think, oh, this fabric looks like it would look good on a horse like this one. See how there's kind of a lot of marbling. And with boutiques, I can use, you have quite a few different shades and values within the same piece of fabric, like this one. So I have some, really dark areas. I could cut that out. And then I have lighter areas here. This one's kind of a medium. So, I got like 3 or 4 different shades in one piece of fabric. And that's why I like boutiques. There are some boutiques I probably would not use, but it depends on what the project is. So yeah, that's what I would do, Sylvia, is find a piece of fabric or 3, 4 that really inspire you, that you think, oh, these are beautiful and I want to use them, and then pull fabrics out that you think that would match that. Here's another one, for instance, like I really love this one. And see all the colors in there. I gave me a lot of choices. Even like, okay, if this might be your color inspiration, but you don't necessarily have to use this fabric. This could just be your inspiration to pull colors. So this gives you a lot of options. You could pull out different fabrics in this colorway, up here in this different colors. But it kind of gives you an idea of what matches. So you pull out those colors, like here's one. That might be something you could use. Or I have another one here. It's got kind of the same colors in it, but maybe I end up not using this one at all. It was just the inspiration. Do you understand what I mean? You can do the same thing in quilting. You don't have to use the main focus fabric in your project. Hi, Terry. Gonna drink tea and relax with everyone today? That sounds like a good idea. And yeah, and shading for sure. Oh, thank you, Susan. She says, I have an eye for color. Yeah, I used to do quite a bit of painting, which I want to get back and do a little bit more of that. So I'm setting up an area over there where I used to have the sewing machine set up, and I'm going to bring my easel in and start doing some painting. Now, what I thought I would start with is like a little cheater thing. I'm going to cheat, but it will get me motivated, right? I have some paint by number projects that Brandon got me a few years ago for Christmas, just to give us something to do in the wintertime. And so I have a couple of those that I need to finish. And that would, I feel like that would motivate me, get my mojo going, you know, to do some of my own paintings again. And I have several projects that I want to do. One of these days, maybe I'll share that with you, but there's like this one. I want to actually paint it, but I would also like to do it in an art quilt. And it's three little bunnies in the grass under some flowers that are pansies, I think they were, poking out, and they're little babies. It's so cute. I want to do that one so bad. So that's kind of like the motivation. You find a picture, a photo of something that inspires you, and you start with that. Um, I'm also going to take you guys over in a little while and talk about a layer cake that I want to do, a layer cake quilt. And my motivation for that was I I think it was on Facebook. I saw an advertisement for a quilt at like Walmart or something like that. And it was basically just 10-inch squares on point, all sewn together. And I thought, that quilt looks so pretty. And it was all basically one color, but different shades. And I thought, how easy that would be. That's a great project for layer cakes that you don't know what to do with. And it would go together so quick. You could quilt it up pretty fast. And you can make it more complicated if you wanted to by adding sashing or even cornerstones. So anyway, I started putting some layer cake up on the design wall over there. So I thought in a little while we'd go over there and kind of play with that. I haven't done any of the math yet or finished out the design, and I thought we could do that together. So that's kind of what I'm planning today. So I'm just kind of going to go back and forth between this, work on this for a little while, and then when my back gets to the point where it's time to get up and do something different, then we'll move. All right. So that's what's going on in my sewing room today. I also really liked this color. And I am actually using this in this quilt. There's quite a few spots where I have this. But this is like, some of it is 3 my color number 3, and maybe some of it would be number 4, depending on where you cut it. Might even be some 2, which is even lighter. So, and just to keep yourself organized, I would really number your pattern that you're using, and have that correspond with the fabric. So number your fabric, number your pattern, so it keeps you focused. The other thing I think is really important when you're picking your fabrics is to take a photo of them, lay them out, take a photo, and it actually helps in color and determining the range of colors that you have and which shades they are, what value, you know, that helps a lot. So, yes. Um, no, it gives you, well, there are some spots that you could trace the shape, but for the most part, this is a cotton panel, and it's gray tone, gray scale, right? So all of this area right here, they want you to use the darkest fabric that you have in this section. Now you could, if you wanted to, trace out this whole piece on a fusible and use one piece of fabric. I thought about that too, and I was kind of curious of how that would look. Like if I had a batik that was really busy in the darks and it had a whole bunch of, you know, designs in it. I could just use that one whole piece of fabric there if I wanted to. And then the next color, so this is 6, this is 5. So here's all the 5 area. And you could do this. So yeah, you could do that, Sylvia, for this pattern. But if you use whole pieces of fabric in that, is it really 100% collage? You know, in a way it is, but collage is supposed to be, you know, smaller pieces too. I don't know. Actually, I never heard a rule about the size of the piece of fabric you should use. Then it would be kind of more like applique, right? Because applique is like that. You cut out the big piece. Oh, hi, Nancy. The other thing is the Collage Quilter. She has a YouTube channel, Emily Taylor. Um, and she is a really good teacher. And she has a whole bunch of videos out there on this technique. So really, this is her technique. That I'm doing. She uses a different type of fusible than I do, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. Uh, and I tried quite a few different techniques, but I like this one the best. I would not, personally, I do not like to put my fabric pieces right on the fabric design, you know, or even just a blank piece of fabric. I would much rather use the parchment paper, because if, let's say I decided I didn't like this right here at all, I could take that whole thing off, no problem, and then put something different there. So, hey Jamie. Hi, Melina. How are you doing? Thank you. Hey, Lisa. So I need this light up over here, but it does give me a little more light in the cutting area here. So I have just a little more of the really dark area. Actually, I don't really like that light on, but a little bit more here, and then down here. Now I can't go too far because I still have more of the pattern rolled up down below, and so I need to add another piece of parchment paper along there. But I can put a little bit over here. This is pretty much done in here. Oh, and I still have all of this is supposed to be really dark too, so I actually got quite a bit to do. Of course I do. So, but I took a photo a couple of days ago of my progress, and then I took one last night, and I actually got quite a bit done yesterday. So I'm pretty happy about that. The other thing that kind of helps you move along, a little faster, is if you just cut out shapes and stuff from your fabrics. Try not to be too picky. That's hard to do sometimes. The picky areas should be your nose, your eye, your ears. There are certain areas where you need to be picky. And okay, that's okay. And shapes. Yeah, we'll get to that, Sylvia. So I got to figure out what kind of background I want to put it on. And then I will just peel this off, which is going to be hard. I'll probably go lay it on the bed and then peel it up. I probably should have done it in sections, but if I overlapped like supposed to be doing, it should come off all on as one piece. So, and then I can just lay it on my background. And then I will iron it down, and all of this still has fusible webbing on it, so it should all still stick. And then I'll quilt it. Okay, here's an example of something. Right here, I need a light and then I need a dark, right? Light and dark. So I found a piece of fabric that has a light side and a dark side, but it's all on one piece of fabric, right? That I thought would look okay there. So I just am going to put it over the light area where I need it. And I think that'll work out fine. Right there. Okay, now I need to look at the bottom of it here. So I'm going to cut that off at on the bottom a little bit at an angle. Yeah, that'll be an amazing step for sure. I'll uh, I'll try to have you guys with me so you can see how I do it. I might try and look around and see if I can find a canvas that big. And I might just put it on a canvas. So I haven't decided 100% yet. What I am going to do. All right, I need some smaller pieces. Let's see. Looks good. So, what are you guys up to today? You got projects going on? And if you get one of these irons, make sure and get the one that has the guard around that. I hate to tell you how many times I've reached over and grabbed this up here instead of down here. And I thought every time I do it, I think, oh, I'm so glad that had a guard on there. Because that iron gets hot now, let me tell you. Hi, Geraldine. I found a little spot that isn't overlapped very well. Needs to be lighter color. Maybe I'll put a little purple on there. Don't have enough glue on it. Let's see. Here. There's one that kind of looks like a heart. That's enough. Nah, not big enough. Okay. I'm going to show this to my friend who has 2 horses. She's going to love it. Cool. Yeah. Do you think she would love to make it? That'll be fine, I think, right there. Okay, Jamie says getting a binding ready and getting another quilt top trimmed up to go on the long arm. Awesome. And hi, Joan. She's quilting a wall hanging table runners for a craft show in November. She's already done the dish rags and dish towels for it. Oh, awesome. That sounds great. I was thinking the other day I need to make some more bowl cozies. Oh boy, I have to tell you, Jamie, trying to not eat sugar has been uh, extremely difficult. Definitely addicted to sugar and chocolate and chocolate and chocolate. But I haven't had any chocolate in quite a while, and I'm doing really good on. Uh, I haven't gone like completely sugarless, but I am, only using honey basically, and trying to be, really careful with that. Cutting back on the bread and pasta and rice. I've actually come up with some pretty good recipes, but I mean, when they put so much sugar in all the products that we buy, they really get you addicted to sugar. I'm going to blame it on them. Because it's them's fault. I think probably the worst thing I have done in my life is eating conveniently, eating foods that are convenient. Because those are like the, you know, worst things you can eat. Processed foods. But heck, we didn't know, did we? I mean, yeah, maybe I've known now for quite a few years, but by then it was already too late, I guess. Although, so what I'm trying to do now is when I make something, from scratch, I make enough, try to make enough for 2 meals. Um, because there are times that I just do not feel like cooking at all. And those are the times that I go to convenient foods. You know what I mean? So if I have some sort of alternative in the freezer, that would be the best. Right? That would be the best. But it's, oh, what do I have instead of pasta? What do I have instead of rice? I gotta still cook differently for Brandon and myself. Although I say he's being a pretty good sport about it. He's like, "Well, I'll try what you're having. I'll give it a try." So he's being a pretty good sport about it. And then, there have been times that he goes, yeah, no, not so much. Maybe he's like, maybe I would like a little bit of rice. Things that fill you up, right? Try to keep your carbs under 50 is a good measure. Yeah, that's what I heard too. But you know, there are, would you say, bad carbs under 50 or all carbs? Hi, Jim. How are you today? Because definitely, you know, there are good and bad, right? I think definitely quantity of whatever you're having makes a difference. Like, is it really so bad to have a piece of chocolate every now and then? I say no, unless you're allergic to it. What are you up to today, Jim? Yes, I agree, Valerie. Health is wealth. Oh, I know, you know, after like 3 days, I had like 3 days where had no sugar at all. Um, and then I bought some strawberries and I had a strawberry and oh my God, it was so sweet. I'm like, Brandon, taste these strawberries. They're so sweet. And he was like, oh, he didn't think they were as sweet as I thought they were. Yeah, that's what I figure. I'm changing my taste buds for sure. Let's see. Just hanging out with his wife. Awesome. That's always a good thing. My hubby is trying to fix a flat tire and it's got a leak around the bead. Trying to remember these words. And he's had it apart like twice now. Um, and it's still leaking just a tiny little bit. I'm like, honey, we can just take that to the, you know, Les Schwabbies or something. But he's used to fixing that stuff himself, so he's just going to keep working at it, I guess. Let's see, I want that. Yeah. I'm going to have this section done pretty quickly, I think. Yes, dark chocolate is good for you. And I'm looking at some of the low carb recipes and stuff, you know, for a dessert, seeing what my options are. But I'm also thinking um, maybe I should be thinking like like a hunter-gatherer, right? So what did our ancestors eat before they had bread? I still think they walked along and picked grains and stuff like that. I mean, you'll about eat just about anything if you're hungry enough, wouldn't you? Bugs, grubs, worms. I'm not going to go eat worms, I can tell you that. Or grubs. It's not going to happen. Unless I was starving, then I might. But I think they ate more than just meat. I mean, look at the monkeys. You know, monkeys are a cousin of ours, and what do they eat out in the wild? I don't, monkeys don't, they do eat meat and they eat bugs and grass and fruit. And they can actually tell by the DNA and from our ancestors what type of foods they ate. And it wasn't just meat. So, plus you can tell by our teeth. Our teeth are made for grinding our food, which I suppose you would be grinding your meat. Yeah, exactly, Valerie. Gives him something to do. I mean, that's my opinion, Jamie. I don't think we ate just meat. But if we did, I would starve to death because I'm not a big meat eater. I mean, I used to, before I married Brandon, for a lot of years, I was mostly a vegetarian. So, and I have to tell you, I was a lot healthier. But there was no way I could get Brandon to be. And I hadn't eaten red meat in years before I met Brandon. I still did eat chicken every now and again, but I was super picky about the chicken. I didn't want any fat on it at all. And I had to prepare it myself. And every now and then I would eat bacon and eggs and cheese, and then a lot of vegetables and fruit. But I still don't eat a lot of red meat. I do um, like venison and elk meat. That's not too bad. I like it a lot better than beef. Bison's not too bad. I don't like beef hamburger from the grocery store at all. I think it's the fat that they put in there that I don't like. So I would rather get ground beef and then add my own fat to it. Exactly. They ate whatever was in season where they lived. Exactly. That's what I think. So that's why I don't think a little bit of fruit, especially like berries, what kind of, fruit that grew back then. Um, I don't know about apples. I can't remember where apples are actually from, but I'd have to do some research. Maybe crab apples. Um, but like blackberries grow wild, elderberries, huckleberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. You can find all of those growing in the wild, and there are wild plums. So yeah, stuff like that, right? Ooh, that sounds good. A mule deer roast for dinner. Ooh, yummy. I've been marinating a big steak, elk steak, for about 3 days now. That's what we're going to have. I'll have about this much, 2 by 4. Brandon can eat the rest of it, and then I'll have vegetables. I did buy some cauliflower, and I want to try and make like some sort of bread, or who was saying, was it you, Jamie, that was saying to get some cauliflower for, oh, instead of using rice? So I want to try that. Except for cauliflower, I don't know if Brandon can do it because it makes him really gassy. You know what that means, right? And cabbage is really hard on him too. Roasted cauliflower is really good. Oh, I saw a Facebook keto site that had a roasted garlic or roasted cauliflower. Oh, that looked really good. It did. Okay, I got to stand up for a minute. Okay, that's looking pretty darn good. Got a little more to do on that side with my darkest color. And then I can do right here, a little bit more down here, and up here. And then, oh, I got a little bit right here too. Okay. And here, this spot right here called for the really darkest one. And I had a piece right there that was really dark, but I just did not like the way it looked at all, so I took it off. So I have to think, I need to think about this area, how I want to do it. Let's see, here's the black and white. Okay, look at that cheek. See how dark it is right there? And then here. So, it makes it kind of look like the muscle. So I have to look at that really carefully. That's one of the areas, same as like with the eyeball or the nose. You need to try to get that detail in. The geese are coming in. They're making a heck of a racket out there. And also have seen some cranes. They're coming in. All kinds of birds coming in right now. And I feel really sorry for them because it's kind of cold and it's supposed to snow again next week. Can you believe that? Snow off and on all next week. The temperature is supposed to drop from, you know, 10 to 20 degrees cooler. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I wanted it to start getting warmer. I have gotten a little more cleaning done, organization stuff, putting things away in here. Let's see. Will this be a good one? Yeah, that'll work. Cauliflower rice is not as hard on the digestive system as the blanch couple of minutes in water. Can add ginger, cumin to the cauliflower. I don't think I like cumin. I do ginger, that's not too bad. Thank you, Jamie. My favorite is like garlic. I love garlic. And oh, so I was at the grocery store a few days ago and they had some seasonings on sale. So the seasonings are like steak rubs, chicken rubs, you know, stuff like that. And so I'm reading the label. And every one of those had sugar added to it. I'm like, why are you putting sugar in here? If I want sugar on my food, I can add sugar. So I want you know, a seasoning pack that doesn't necessarily have any salt in it or sugar. So I read through all of them. There was like 8 different jars of seasoning mixes that you could pick from, and every one of them had sugar in it. So I found one that wasn't on sale, and it was a little small jar, and it's really good. You can put it on steak or chicken, and it had no seasonings in it. When I take a break, I'll go downstairs and grab it and show it to you. And it's really good. So no sugar, no added salt. I you know, before I never um, paid any attention to that. It would have never dawned on me that they were putting sugar in that stuff. The only thing I really added sugar to was like spaghetti sauce. You know, when you make homemade spaghetti sauce, because the sugar kind of helps kill the acidiness of your tomatoes. And since I have my stomach, you know, doesn't do good with really acidy foods. then I would put a little, but just a little bit of sugar, just enough to, Yeah, I was really shocked. So start reading those labels and you become enlightened to just how much unnecessary stuff they're putting in our foods. I thought, I need to call this company and tell them to quit adding sugar. I think if more people did that, maybe we would have some better products out there to choose from. Let's see. And I've been buying like flour and that is non-GMO. More like the original wheat. Not the modified wheat. And I've been doing that for quite a few years. And I have a lot of other flours like almond flour and uh, I even had some garbanzo bean flour. I didn't like that stuff. Ugh, that was nasty. I know, Chris. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this one might be McCormick's. I can't remember for sure. I'll check though. Yeah, that's normally I do, make mine. I have a lot of different separate spices and usually I just mix it all together. But these were on sale and I thought, "Oh, that looks good." And, you know, but then I read it and it had sugar in it. I love pizza. Um, Fathead dough recipe using almond flour. What? Okay, let me write that down. Ooh, that sounds good. Garlic and parsley. Yeah. I like basil. Okay, I need a little bit of something right there. I'll try and find something in the purples. Because why not, right? Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. I did go and watch a bunch of those videos that Jamie recommended, so that was pretty informative. All right, so I think that's it. I can move down here. Let's see, what do I want there? And of course I have all the wrong oils in my cupboard, so that was disappointing. And I just had bought a great big jug of it not that long ago. And I made a list. I made a couple of lists and of the different foods, do's and don'ts, and put it up on the refrigerator. So that will kind of help when I make my grocery list. I tried a recipe with cottage cheese, eggs, and I don't know what all it had in it, but it was supposed to be like a kind of like a pancake, I guess. Oh, and it's supposed to have berries in it, like blueberries. So I put huckleberries in it, and then I sprinkled walnuts over the top of it and cooked it. It kind of looks like a an egg muffin, you know, like kind of fluffy because I guess the cottage cheese. It wasn't too bad. Brandon wasn't really crazy about it. Yes, Rita, it's a piece of glass. It's a storm window. It's pretty big, you know. It's really big. And it's pretty heavy. It's thick. But yeah, it's just a storm window. And here's the light. And it goes all the way up there. And I have it leaning against the wall. So yeah, it's pretty big and heavy, very heavy. It works pretty good for me, but I need to put the storm window back into the window where it goes, and I got a piece of window pane at our garbage disposal area the other day, but it's not as tall as this, so I'm not sure if that'll work or not. All right, I need over here. How are we doing on time? 1:30? I'm not sure what time I started. 75 minutes ago? Wow. Chris says, my mother-in-law had a homemade glass light and it was heavy. Boy, it wasn't as big as yours. Yeah, it's just the, window propped up against the wall. But it's still pretty heavy. And it's kind of nice being able to just move that light wherever you need it. And I actually have a couple of lights. In fact, I could even put this light back there a little bit. And that kind of brightens it up a little. And then you can, see through there pretty good. Somebody mentioned the other day that I could put this on my patio door that's going out there, my glass door. And yeah, I could have done that. But I kind of like it at this angle instead of just being straight up and down. I think I'm going to move to the next color lighter um, instead of moving over here to because I'm getting a little tired of doing the darks. Yeah, it really works for me. I really like it, the setup. Hi, ma'am. I still have the owl collage that needs finished. Well, get her out. Trying to decide what collage I want to do next. And I kind of like to do that a sea turtle and underwater, you know. I think that would be really cool. But it's been done quite a bit. Just not by me, right? It would be fun to use all those um, bright colors from the like the coral reefs and stuff. the pretty bright fish. I'm just not sure I have enough. I have to go through my fabric and see what I have that I could use for something like that. Boy, did you guys, anybody watch the fight last night? I felt really sorry for that girl. She got her she got her head, her noggin, her bell rung. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. I felt bad for her. And the other gal didn't even realize that her punch had, you know, pretty much knocked the girl out, because when she hit her, she kind of swung around, and so then her back is to the aggressor, and that's when the aggressor grabbed her by the neck and pulled her down. But the ref was right there. You know, he didn't. He saw what was going on, and he got her out of there. But yeah, she laid there on the mat for quite a while, trying to get her, you know, bearing straight. It was pretty good fight for it being ladies. Pretty exciting. And the main event was pretty good too. Don't ask me the names of these people because I really don't know, but I do like to watch those fights with my husband. I think it's because I grew up with a father who used to box when he was in when he was in the military, and before he went into the military, he liked to box, and so I kind of grew up in that environment. So, in fact, when I was younger, I had an older sister, and if her and I started fighting, you know, too much and wouldn't stop, my dad used to put little boxing gloves on us and make us punch it out. I hated that. I guess it kept us from fighting so much. Wonder if you would get away with that in today's society. Having your putting boxing gloves on your kids and say, "All right, if you want to fight, have at it." My guess would be not. I guess it made me grow up a little tougher. Okay, so I think I'm almost done. One more piece right there, and then I think I might switch over to the next color, even though I'm supposed to put some really dark right in here. I'm not sure I want to do that. Oh, this is part of the, I need, that might be part of the horse's head. Oh no, it does go all the way down there. Okay, so all of this is supposed to be here. All right. So I might take those off right there. Is that? Yeah. Okay, that seems right. You know, I probably should have traced this out before, but I think. Even though what they have is different. Oh. Yeah, that looks about right. So I want to have some fabrics I can use to outline right there. Okay. Yeah, it did for sure. Um, because we couldn't pull each other's hair. You know what I mean? When you have gloves on, you can't really pull each other's hair, which my sister was, prone to do. And then I would, of course, pull back. But yeah, my dad didn't like us pulling each other's hair, stuff like that. If we were gonna, you know, gotta box correctly. Okay, let's see. It didn't happen that often. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like we were boxing every week or something. Maybe we just learned to not fight in front of Dad. Yeah, I think I want that piece on there. And that really should be a different color. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, what do I want to use over there? I want dark right there, but not super dark. Maybe that one's almost perfect. A little more of an angle on that. Yeah, okay, and then how do we want this piece kind of that. Now we'll be putting some lighter colors over the top of that. But that's a good base start, I guess. Right here. Oh, me and my little brother. Oh my goodness, we we fought quite a bit, and he would continually antagonize me. You know, and then I would just beat the crap out of him. But I don't know. I think he was trying to, he needed another boy to play with, is what he needed. But we did have another brother, but he was quite a bit younger. So, couldn't really beat up on him. So he would try to get me. And I think he just kind of felt like he always owed me one or something. And so he would wait 3 or 4 months and try again. Like, it ain't gonna work, little brother. It isn't gonna happen. I started boxing a lot sooner than he did. My dad finally made us stop. I think I was about 17, and we should not have been. But he came up on me again, and oh boy! But my dad stopped it, and that was the last time. He said, "You guys are just too big now. You're gonna really gonna damage each other. Give it up." Plus, it probably helped that I moved out, so I wasn't there anymore. Yeah, we still love each other too. Well, of course, we had a few things to work out, but all in all, I did love him. That's for sure. And he's no longer with us. So he passed away quite a while ago. I still have my baby brother. That's what I call him, my baby brother. He'd be the youngest. And I never, him and I never fought, the youngest. And I don't know if it's because he was so much younger than me, which it probably was because, he's 5.5 or so years younger than I am. I'm not going to beat up on a little baby. Whereas my other brother that fought with me, we were a little more than a year older than each other, so we were, you know, fairly close in age. Oh boy. All right. What do we want to do next? Do we want to keep doing the horse? Or do we want to go look at the layer cake possibility quilt? And I might have to plug my phone in too. I should have had that on already. Dang it. And I could use some lunch. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, I need to thin that out a little bit more right there. But I can cover it up a bit with fabric. And this is where your grayscale photo is really going to help. Really, I haven't had a argument with my youngest brother in I don't know how long. But we hardly ever see each other. We haven't seen each other for quite a few years. In fact, he's working on a job up in Montana right now, and I'm thinking about going up and visiting, taking the camper and stuff, and go see him for a little while. I do, the FaceTime thing, so I actually get to physically see him, but that's not the same. I'd like to give him a hug, and my younger sister, too. So yeah, I have a younger sister and younger brother, and my older sister passed away, and then my other brother, who was a little bit younger than me, passed away also. But I'm happy I still have at least two. Okay, I think I will just um, move the camera over and show you the design wall where the layer cake is for at least a little bit. So hold on, I'm going to move the camera. There we go. I won't be able to see the chat. And I wonder, I wish I knew my battery level. Well, anyway, there's the layer cake thing I'm thinking about doing. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Geraldine. That light help any? A little bit. Okay. So I have these layer cakes. They're blue and white, and it's called Annabelle by Williamsburg by Wyndham Fabrics. And I thought I only had like 2 layer cakes, but I actually have more than that. I have like 2.5, maybe even 3. Because what happened was quite a few years ago, um, Missouri Star Quilt Company had these on sale. And so I bought one. And then when I got it, I really liked it a lot. And so I kept looking for it to pop on sale again. And then I bought two more. Actually, might have bought four altogether. I don't remember. And I made one quilt out of it, a small quilt, like a lap quilt. And that was for my mom. But when she passed away, uh, I got it back. So I have it. In fact, I should go get it and show it to you. Um, so I still have the layer cakes. Plus, I have a bunch of parts, and I have a candle burning today. Better move that. Let's see. Oh, it feels good to stand up for a little bit. I have a whole bunch of half square triangles, and then I was doing the 4 at a time half square triangle method. I don't know if you can see that, but it's where you sew 2 lines this way and 2 lines this way, and then you cut it. And I have a bunch of these ready to cut. So there's quite a few half square triangles. And then I still had a whole bunch of fabric cut out for that to make a whole bunch of half square triangles. So I could actually make another half square triangle quilt of some sort. But like I was saying earlier at the beginning of this video, I saw this quilt on Facebook. It was from Walmart or, one of those places. And it was basically this 10-inch squares put on point. And I thought, that looks really cool and easy. That would be a great thing to do with your layer cake, right? And if you don't have enough lights and darks, then you could always find some fabric that would match your layer cake and cut out 10-inch squares. Like, like I have this fabric. It's a different fabric line, but it totally matches. So I could use that. Same with this. Different fabric line, but it matches. So you could go through your stash and find something for lights or darks, right? Now, I don't know all the math for this yet because I'm just getting started on it. But I think one layer cake would actually make a pretty nice size quilt. At least a twin, I'm thinking. So I still have pieces laid out over here, and I'm just going to put them up there. The other thing you could do if you wanted to, if you didn't want to just sew layer cake parts together, you could put a small sashing in between. And I was thinking like 1.5 inch. I wouldn't do bigger, more than 2, but somewhere between maybe even 1 1/4. A nice small thin sashing is what I was thinking. And if you were going to do that, you would just add it in. Um, and then I also need to figure out the math for the fabrics that are going to be on the end, right here. Because you can't just cut the layer cake square in half and use it that way. There's a math to it. So I'll have to get back to you on that too. So, yeah, this is what I'm kind of thinking. And I've been moving, things around. And now if you don't have a design wall like I do, you could lay it out on a floor or your bed, and then you can start sewing. Once you're happy with how your rows are, you would sew these together, and then this one, and then you would sew this row together, and then that row, and so on and so forth. You'd sew at an angle. All right, I'm going to put a few more pieces up there. First, I'll go look and see if anybody's saying anything. Hi, Suzanne. I'm not going to have enough room. I can see that right now. Yeah, so I um, might have to lay that out on the floor over here. I would have more room. So I probably will play with the layout a little bit more and then do the math and figure out what size that's going to end up being and if that's going to be big enough. And since I have 2 layer cakes, I can either make one really big quilt or I could make 2 smaller quilts, which I'm kind of thinking I would like to make an oversized lap quilt, you know, a twin size quilt, something like that. So do you guys like the look of that? Uh, really something simple to put together. And I don't think it would take long at all to sew that up. So I probably will get started on that, get the math figured out. Yeah, sometimes simple is the best. And I wouldn't overthink placement too much either, you know, because you can just keep working at it and working at it and working at it, right? You know, it's if something really stands out, like I can see a couple of things that just really stand out to me right now, but overall, it's not too bad. And then I need to decide if the fill-in fabric, these are going to be a blue and white fabric too, or just use a white on white. I'm thinking a white on white, but the other thing, this fabric, uh, there's quite a bit of it that the pattern on the fabric is, you know, up and down. So when I turn it on point, it's not gonna, you know. But I honestly don't really think that matters. It's not like it's upside down, you know. But if something like that might bother you, you know, you could change it. Only use fabric that it doesn't matter, you know. Okay, so that is that project. And then the other one I want to try and get the math on this week. So if you want to do it, we can get started on it. Is I have a jelly roll that is red, white, and blue. And we did the friendship quilt. So I want to make another friendship quilt, except for I want to add the sashing and cornerstones to it. So that math has got to change also. Um, but if you have a jelly roll or other fabrics you can use for red, white, and blue, a patriotic quilt, and you want to sew along with me on that, another friendship quilt, then you can go ahead and start your cutting. So cut these pieces, basically would be the same as the last pattern, and your strips are going to be 2.5 by 4.5, and I think you get 8 altogether, and then you're going to have a little bit left over, and you cut those at 2.5-inch squares. You should get 2 out of each strip. So I'm just bringing that up so you can get some supplies together if you want to sew that with me. I'd be happy to sew with you on that. And then one other thing I was going to show you. I showed you the sew sampler box yesterday, so I put all of that I put away. But I wanted to show you my progress on my cross stitch. So I'm doing stitchy stars. And this is where I am so far. Okay, I did make a mistake, but I decided not to pick it out, and I just went with it and made the mistake 3 more times. And, you know, I don't think anybody can tell. Unless I hold up the pattern right next to this, then you might be able to. So that's coming along. I have 3 more blocks to do, and then the border, and then it'll be done. So it's, again, it looks like this. So yeah. And then I'll figure out how I'm going to finish it. I think I am going to try and find, like, they have this on a piece of wood, you know, distressed, painted white, but it's kind of distressed. And then it has a little thing that, you know, a rope to hang it. I might just do it that way. I would like to have it, you know, hanging up for the 4th of July, so. I've been working on this at night. Sitting on the couch, hanging with the husband, watching the fights. Of course, I don't get much stitching done when the fight is actually on. Okay, so I'm going to take you back over there. So hold on, everybody. That's right, Valerie. It's an artistic choice. Yeah, it was just I used the wrong color, was all. I just used the wrong color, but I just went with it. It was no big deal. I didn't think so. I think it still looks fine. I would have had to pick quite a bit of that out, and I didn't really feel like doing that. And I was just like, oh well, I'll just use this color 3 more times. Oh, you've been doing embroidery during your couch husband time? That's fun too. You don't have that pattern? It's a Lori Holt. Is it? Yeah, Lori Holt. It's been out for quite a while. So, yeah, I think I want to say I got it 3 years ago or so. Let's see. It's called Stitchy Stars. It's So Emma by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. They probably still have it at the Fat Quarter Shop. There's only 5 colors. So I got this at my local quilt shop. Okay. I'm pretty sure I need to plug in that phone if I'm going to keep on going. I don't have all of my outlets set up properly yet. Yeah, said I had 39% left on that. That's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm like that. I need to keep my hands moving for sure. That's why I like to have projects to do. Uh-oh. I need a hammer. Luckily, I have a hammer. There. If something breaks, just grab the hammer. That's what my husband does. We still have quite a bit of snow up on the uh, mountaintops. And I can't believe we're going to get snow next week. In fact, we're supposed to start snowing tonight. I am not looking forward to that at all. And I'm not sure how much snow we're supposed to get. But okay, I'm done already. Okay? I want 60-degree weather, please. All right, I'm going to switch over to the next color. Shade lighter, I think. Even though I still have a little more of the dark to do, I'm ready for a change here. But some of this could still be lighter, so I'll leave some of that out. I'm definitely going to have to go through my stash and see if I have some more darks for all of this, the rest of the horse over here. I hope I do, because I'm not sure if this little bit is going to be enough. So, fingers crossed. Okay. Now I have a clean palette. Hey, Mona. How you doing, girl? Okay, pick up these darks over here too. Some of those have some lighter in it, so I can keep those, I guess. That one. Dark. Too dark. Possibility. Dark. Dark. Purple, fuchsia. Okay, let's see what we have here. Those are too light. Just getting myself organized here with my next palette of colors, which would be this tote right here. Oh, you had a day out? Now you're tired? I'm getting tired too. Boy, I have a whole bunch of layer cakes down here that are petites. Well, this one actually is not petite. Some of them are petite or petite-like this one. But I thought it was a really pretty layer cake that would be great for um, collage quilting. So that's why I bought it. But there's stuff like this in it. And of course this. See, now you could fussy cut those out. Your flowers and stuff. Wouldn't that be pretty? Here's a layer cake of purples. Purples. This is all messed up, but yeah. More colors here. More colors here. Those are island batiks. And one more. Some of these I don't know if they'd be very good for these kind of projects or not, but I got these on sale at, you know, when Missouri Star used to have their big sales all the time. Here's a pretty one. Isn't that pretty? I like that one too. It's supposed to be purples, but they also have like wine colored colors in there. I definitely need some more drawers. That way I could lose stuff, right? Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, I checked outside what the temperature was out there just a few minutes ago. Oh, and I can hear that truck going by again. But I heard the kids next door playing, and they were riding their dirt bikes. Riding their dirt bikes. Now, that's something we used to do too when I was a kid. Ride dirt bikes. My dad was into dirt bikes pretty heavily. My dad was very sporty, very active when I was younger. He liked basketball, and he was probably 3 inches maybe taller than me. So he was like 5'8", 5'9". He was pretty short, really. But he played basketball pretty darn good. And I remember him being on a team when we lived in Boise, and we would go watch them play, you know. Okay, I'm just kind of spreading these out a little bit so I can see what I have here. I say the neighbors, but they're quite a ways away from us. But you can still hear them pretty good. I can't hear them in the house. I can't hear them at all. But if I step out on the deck, I can hear them racing up and down their driveway, which is a pretty long road, you know, and I can hear them hooting and hollering. They're having a good time. Okay, got some darks here. There's another one. All right. Oh boy, Susan, I hope it's not seized up. I would have somebody look at it before anybody tried to start it if it's been that long. Yeah, Missouri Star has some great deals for sure. Or they did. I haven't bought anything from them for it, probably at least 3 years. Kind of thirsty. And I'm getting tired. How long? Yeah, I've been on for 2 hours. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do here? Do I want to just cut some pieces out? I do need some more pieces, so I think I will do a little cutting. Just cutting out pieces that have a little bit of light in it and dark, but it's, you know, definitely lighter than the last color I was using, so it'll show up, right? Because you want that, you need that contrast. And really, when I'm cutting these, I'm kind of following the design that I see in the fabric. That, you know, I think would look good, right? So it's really, if I gave, you know, a couple of you all of the same fabrics I'm using right now in this pattern, we would all end up with something that looks a lot different, I think, because, you know, no two are going to be the same. In fact, you know, you might not even like some of the colors that I'm using. And if that's true, I don't want to know. Oh, they have good sales on their wide backs? I'll have to check that out because I'm going to need some more background fabric and or backing. And it is quite a bit easier using those wide backs. All right, let's pick another color. I think this one would need to be cut when I need it. Kind of have a headache. Now I can hear their motorcycles going pretty good now. Let's see. I think I'll cut that lighter piece out of there. Looks okay. You guys are probably getting bored watching me do this horse all the time. Sorry, guys. I'm obsessed. I just got to get this horse done. Let's see. I think Brandon's taking a nap. Or he could be out working on that tire. I'm not sure which. Oh, I didn't make it quite long enough. Let's see. Nope. Not quite long enough. That's okay. I can fix it. Add a little piece. And then hope it doesn't fall off. Oh, thanks, Valerie. It would be nice if I could like play the radio or something like that. You know, some nice soft music. There. Can hardly even tell. Okay, let's see. What else do I need? Alrighty, that hole is filled in. Let's see what we have down here. There you go. Can you guys hear you know who snoring? She's at it again. At least she's over, you know, a ways away. She's over there by the door. So it's not too loud. And every once in a while, I like to cut out a flower and add it somewhere if I can. Because maybe this horse ran through a field of wildflowers. And so now, every now and then, there's a wildflower stuck on him. Right there. It's kind of like Bob Ross, and if anybody ever watched Bob Ross, go, and there's a little squirrel maybe right that lives right in there. Right under that tree. Right behind that bush. Bye. Oh, have a fun time with the grandkids. Oh, that sounds like fun. Well, enjoy your time. Sounds like fun. Oh, you were impressed, and my continued working on it is encouraging? Oh, thanks. Oh, it's good to be an inspiration now and then. I should have packed a lunch up here, though. I'm getting pretty hungry. Oh, oh no, Susan. Said, I just took the cardigan I am knitting off the binding. Now I have to pick up the button band and knit it. So very close to being finished with this sweater. I had to slow down because of hand pain. That's how I am on my cross stitch, especially in this hand, holding it. Those fingers go numb. Not fun. Okay, I think that this is, yeah, gotta have some light ones in there. I'll try that. Oh, that might help, Susan. Getting a shot. Let's see, do I want that down here? I think I want it down here. I think I want it right there. And cut a little bit of that off. And I want it to overlap, but da-dum. I like this color here. Oh man, time is just flying. Now it's after 3. No wonder I'm hungry. I wonder how many times the neighbor goes up and down the road in one day. It's got to be at least 6, if not more. How's that looking? I should put the camera a little closer, huh? See, I just finished right in through here. It's a pretty dark piece right there, but I think it'll be all right. Hey, Linda. YouTube had my screen flip-flopped when you saw me on Katie's channel? Really? Yesterday? Thank you. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to be on this horse for a long time. I know, I'm sorry. I did show you all a layer cake pattern I'm thinking about doing. So I need to do the math on that. And then another quilt possibility is the like a Quilt of Valor quilt out of the friendship blocks, but with sashing. Okay, I'm going to zoom you guys back out because I don't know, I think it looks better. There. Oops, sorry. Well, it's really up to you. If you want it zoomed in, I can do that. Otherwise, I'll just leave it like that. Hi, Gloria. How are you doing? There's that truck again. That's pretty bright. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go look out the window and see if Brandon is working on that tire. I don't think he is. I think he's in bed. But there's all kinds of noises going on outside. There, people are busy. It's funny how sound carries. Like, we don't. Our neighborhood isn't like everybody right on top of each other. We're all pretty far apart, but the sound just carries. So there's a guy up behind us, and I think he has some sort of logging equipment. Like it sounds like a planer. Like he makes his own boards. So I can hear that's going on. And then to the right of us are the kids on there. Uh, those colors are pretty close on their little motorcycles, dirt bikes. Our closest neighbor keeps driving up and down the road. I don't know what she's doing, but I can hear her truck going up and down, up and down. It's not, as noisy as the big city, but. And then I can hear all the birds, of course. There's a lot of birds. And I can hear the geese way off. They're making a lot of racket. I think maybe some of them are trying to find mates or something. And then there's also the cranes. The cranes are going at it. And I can hear dogs barking out there. And there's a lot of activity going on for a Sunday. Oh, nice. Lynn. Lynn says, I'm looking to do a block of the month quilt from the UK shop there in the UK. I have fat quarters, just need some background fabric. Meanwhile, making Easter gifts. Cool. What kind of Easter gifts are you making? Like Easter baskets and stuff like that? How's Gloria today? From Myrtle Beach. Going back to Tennessee on Tuesday. Ah, nice. I love Tennessee. I think Brandon and I should have moved there when we had the opportunity, which was quite a few years ago. 15 years ago or so. We could have bought his family's old homestead. It was a great big old farmhouse. But we didn't do it. Some other people did, and they turned it into a B&B. And B. I don't think we would have done that, but it was a really neat old house. It needed work, but I don't think it needed that much work, you know? And it kind of would have been kind of cool to live in Brandon's, uh, would have been his great grandparents. It was in, I think it was Clifton, Tennessee. Really nice area. In fact, we went to the cemetery there and saw the family plots. Was the Hughes family. In fact, I have a whole bunch of her china and crystal. And I can't remember the river that runs by that, but it was really cool. And I walked along that river, and there were all these little shells. I'm going to show you. Really, really cool shells, okay? Like, now I know some of these are like little mussels, or, you know, that's what mussels, I think, right? But there were these. So, I mean, and they were just laying all over the place. There were as many shells laying on the ground as there was rocks. So I just could not help myself. I was going to make something out of them, but never did. Let's see. Do you guys know what creature was in that? And you know, like I said, it was along a river. Oh, and I found a piece of glass. It's really thick and old. Okay, it says trademark. All that's left on it is TUPELO. I'm sure there was something in front of the T, but I'm not sure what. So of course I had to pick that up too, but I picked up a whole cup. And this was cart bean cream. Some sort of smoothie I got there. Yeah, so that's what I got on my trip to Tennessee. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Lynn. You think those are seashells? Huh. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but I mean, they were everywhere. I'll have to look on the map and see what river that is. I don't know if somebody, I mean, there was up and down the bank. So it wasn't like somebody just dumped some out somewhere. It wasn't like that at all. They were everywhere. I guess I should have asked the locals what was up with all the shells. Gloria is packing up to head back to Tennessee after being in Myrtle Beach for 6 months. I've been busy sewing all 6 months. Awesome. 9 tops and part of another. I'm in Northeast Tennessee, close to North Carolina. Okay. You have a lot of those there in the UK? Huh. That's interesting. I guess I need to probably do some research on that. But you think these are too? I can kind of see, that's what I was wondering about those. And they're all so small. And there's some really, you know, really small ones. I was thinking some sort of snail or something, but I don't know. Maybe I should ask Brandon. He might know. I think Will is starting to get that old dog snore thing going on. Okay, let's see. It's kind of like trying to find the puzzle piece, right? The piece that looks the best. Something that'll, hey Heather, how you doing, girl? Haven't seen you in a while. That's funny, Chris. Good evening, everyone, and Teresa, the Bob Ross of the quilting world. Yeah, the first one looks like a clamshell. That's what I thought too. Clifton, Tennessee. Clifton was a Tennessee river port. Okay, thanks, Jamie. You're kicking and keeping busy and getting through some stuff. That's one thing about life. There's always stuff. Right, ladies? There is always stuff. Yep, this too shall pass. Exactly. Just sometimes you got to hang on to your girdle, Myrtle. It was pretty dark. I feel like a nap. I think my eyes are getting tired. Oh, oh, Lynn. Yeah, I think Katie's time changed too over in Greenland. Ours did a while back, so I'm still trying to get used to the time change. I just hate it when they do that. I feel like I have not caught up on my sleep. I would just wish they would leave it alone. But they won't. Yeah, I probably should stop. My neck is really starting to hurt. My eyes are cross-eyed. Looks like I'm spinning. The wheel goes round and round. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary either, but I'm thinking if people want to go to work or whatever when it's still light out, just I don't know. I just don't think they need it anymore. But this one time change is harder on me than the other one, so I don't know why. It just is. Yeah, I like this time too. I just wish they would leave it alone. Leave it right here. Then let me get used to it, right? I don't know why I can't get used to it, but I just feel like I'm tired all the time. Of course, I probably felt that way before. So, seems like before you know it, it's 10 o'clock, and then you feel like half your day's already gone by. 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what other colors I have in there. Fairly dark. I'm going to stand up for a minute. We have 35 people watching, and I've been on for 3 hours. And at the beginning, I started working on the horse. Then we took a break and looked at layer cakes, pattern, and possible quilt of Eller, and cross stitch. Then we came back to do some more horsing around. I should move those layer cake pieces around and then do a little bit of sewing. I don't know, do you think we should put sashing in between those layer cake squares? White? That would make it a lot more work, so it would, you know, wouldn't be quick and easy, but I think it would look kind of pretty. Maybe I'll do this one without and then do another one with. I can see some I need to switch out. Yeah, been busy. My horse is coming along. I'm not sure if I want to do this pattern again. This horse is a lot of work. A lot of work. But it'll be worth it, right? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Especially when you back up away from it. I'll show you. There. That way you can see my mess under the table too. I need to fill this in right here. Looking pretty good, huh, guys? Still got a lot to do, though. My back hurts. I might be able to use some of these. Oh, yeah, here's another. Yes. So I'm using some of these already. So I'm glad I saw those. Oh, and this one. I've been using that one. So I won't run out, hopefully. look at that one. That's pretty. I like that one too. This is Evening Glow. Ooh, ooh, look at that one. By Robert Kaufman. There's a lot of pretty batiks in this one. So I'm glad I found those, especially this one, because I'm going to need some more dark. So I need to put that on my list. Figure out how much more dark I need, because I still have this over here. So a little, about 5.5 inches. And all of this is dark. What a mess. Look at my mess, you guys. And there I had it all cleaned up not too long ago. And these horses were a lot easier. So these patterns are by Tony Whitney. You can find them on Amazon or your local quilt shop. But they're a lot more like applique, like how you put applique together. And there's the purple one. I know you guys like to see these. I do too. They're awful pretty. I'm going to get them all pressed out again and finish quilting them. So maybe I can have them ready for the quilt show. And I've already gifted those two. One to my brother, one to my sister. And I might, if I do another horse one, I might do one of those. So I'd like to do it in another color like maroon. So out of those, remember we were looking at fat quarters the other day? So out of those, I picked out some fat quarters that I thought would look good in collage quilting. So, you know, things like this. It's hard to say. It's a possibility. This one for sure. I like that one. And I found a bunch. I didn't even realize I had these, but they have, they're all like this. Those would be good in collage quilting. Susan Carlson uses a lot of this kind of stuff. So my fabric is spilling over into my painting art area. Okay, move you back. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and go. At least I have a nice big chair. This chair that I'm using, the bottom of it is humongous, so I could like fold my legs up into it if I wanted to. Yes, crafts do tend to blend into each other. That's for sure. Especially once you get your fabrics laid out, you know. Then you get a mess. Thank you, everybody. Brandon's, I don't know if I said this, he's doing okay. He's taking a nap right now. Lucky guy. That's what I want to go do, take a nap. Oh, boy. Well, thanks for joining me today, you guys. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. I've been on for 3 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. And hope you have the wonderful rest of your day. Start turning everything off here. If I can find all the switches. There's that one. Have a good week. I'll try and come back on sometime during the week and catch up with y'all. So, see you later, Joan. Bye, Gloria. Bye, Jamie. Thanks for coming. Bye, Suzanne. Bye, Valerie. Bye, Mona, if you're still there. Bye, Chris. Will is ready to go downstairs, too. Poor Willa. Did you have too long of a nap? Yeah, was that a long nap? Well, goodbye to everybody. Suzanne says goodbye, Willa. Bye, Susan. Bye, Lynn. Thanks for being here. I think I'm still tired. Are you still tired? You look tired. My poor baby. She's getting so old. I don't know how much longer she's going to be able to walk up and down those stairs. I know. Sometimes she acts really old, and then other times she's like a puppy raring to go. I know. You have to go potty? Yeah? You have to go potty? You thirsty? I bet you're thirsty. Yeah? We need we need to fill your water bowl up here. Huh? Yeah, poor girl. Okay, we'll go downstairs. She's a hugger. Okay. Bye everyone. We gotta go get a drink of water and go potty. Bye for now. Thanks for coming.